This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Pepper, and you're listening to the Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here, the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello. It's us again for the last time in 2019. That's right. It's the Capes and Lunatics, part one of our big two-part best and worst of 2019. So let's get to it. Capes and Lunatics, episode 137 starts right now. Hello and welcome back to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Joining me as always, master of the facial hair is
Charlie, the Professor Esser.
I hope it's Charlie. And not so master of DMV is
Hey y'all, it's Lil Hellfire. No, actually I was in and out in 30 minutes. So
Hey-o.
that's what he said. If you're lucky.
30 minutes? That's not bad.
For Florida DMV, that's damn good.
I have no idea how Florida DMVs are.
They're not really even technically a DMV. It's a tax collector. Florida's weird. I hate it.
You have to dodge,
Might as well live in Texas.
dodge all those gators and convicts and old people.
In Michigan, it's called the
So
Secretary
many
of
old
State.
people.
And in New Jersey, it's the MVC, for the Motor Vehicle Commission.
MVC.
Yeah. Oh, and now Tristan, Mr. Negative didn't become evil. Mr. Negative has one part of himself which is good and one part of himself which is evil.
Kind of like
Something
Like
that.
everybody?
Yes, but it's more
So
extreme.
he's just normal?
Since when do
Yeah.
you have a good side, little Hellfire?
I think Lilith is very kind and generous in her heart.
Oh, she is.
Just gotta.
You're
be the right
ruining my
person.
image. Shut up, yous.
Oh, you missed her rant last night. You mean I gotta care about other people and this?
Yeah. That's why I'm not married. I don't want to care about another human being. I don't want to be responsible for that.
All right.
Dogs are better. Anyway, let's jump in. What do you want to talk? Where you want to go first? TV, music, movies?
I don't know. You want to do some movies? This was a big year. I mean, think about it. It was hard. It was hard to remember. It seems like last year, but didn't we start with the Battle of the Captain Marvels this year? You know, Captain Marvel and Shazam movies, like a month apart.
Well, that was kind of the summer, right?
No, that was like
No, that was like early. That was February. Yeah, you're
that
right.
was like February.
Everything does seem so far away. I like to say I like Shazam a lot better. I feel like Captain Marvel was kind of forgettable.
Ooh.
It had like too many changes that I couldn't get behind. And I hate how Nick Fury lost his eye. Fight me. I don't care.
I know. I kind of had a problem with that too.
Where Shazam is a family movie that you can put on your Christmas list. Just saying.
Say my name.
It's about family.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
heartwarming. It was like finally something the kids could watch on the DC end. So, like for me, that was just big. It was big.
Yeah, I mean,
It was something to compliment Wonder Woman. So
yeah, it was one.
Whereas Captain Marvel was just kind of lost in the shuffle and the whole Brie Larson thing. It just nope.
What, you don't like Brie Larson?
I mean, just the whole controversy that she brought to it for the sake of being controversial.
yeah.
Like, I get it. It's 2019. You want to be hip and woke, but you try too hard and you look like an a-hole. Just saying.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
no filter. 2020, no filter. I'm sorry.
Okay, I mean,
Get used to it.
first off, I liked both movies. Both were nice. Captain Marvel is not my favorite Marvel movie. I'm much more excited about Black Widow than I even was for Captain Marvel. But I felt Captain Marvel was fine for what it was.
Where's the Bluetooth up there?
For what? Another origin story in the middle of a 80 movie saga. No thanks.
Yeah, well, it's a prequel, and it sets up. And you got the nice cat thing, so that was good. And I liked how they handled the Supreme Intelligence. I thought that was very nice. I liked the warrior heroes. The space Nazis, who are coming back in 2020 in DC. Or not DC, in Marvel. Sorry, glitch referencing. Incoming, $10 for basically a promo book.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the stuff they used to give you for free, now they're going to charge you $10 for.
Basically hits everybody in the Marvel universe, and hey,
we'll get to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, like comic book movies in 2019 just all kind of didn't tickle my fancy. It was more like movies like Midsummer for me. Well, the only action movie that I could really get behind was probably, I'd say, John Wick 3.
Of course.
Yeah.
Keanu for everything, okay? It's a Keanu Reeves. Deal with it, okay? Deal with it.
High body count, love story for Little Hellfire.
I mean, the things I would do if somebody killed my dog. I can relate. Finally, a movie I can relate to. That's all I'm saying. A whole chain of events because somebody killed his dog. So, spoilers, I guess, if you haven't been on the John Wick bandwagon.
John Wick. That's the one where he
Keanu.
The guy kills his dog. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
not to be confused with the movie by Jordan Peele and Key and Peele about the cat. Keanu. Not to be confused.
Yeah.
We had Spider-Man: Far From Home. I thought that was good. Ish.
Yeah, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Did you like that better than
when Jake Gyllenhaal is the best thing about your movie? I'm just saying you might want to think about a few things.
Why? I thought it was good.
It was okay. It wasn't what I was expecting for a second outing for Spider-Man's full-length movie. So,
well,
but Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio surprised me. I can finally forget about Prince of Persia. I can finally forget about it. Hashtag still bitter. Never going to be a good video game movie.
Are there good video game movies?
There's never going to be one. Unless you count Jumanji, which is not really a real video game. So I don't know. Probably not.
That's not a video game movie. That's a movie
about a
that that they have a conceit of a game. It's like Clue the movie, which is a great movie.
That's a great movie. And nobody ever better remake it until Tim Curry is dead.
Well, I mean, I'm all down for more Clues. I mean, honestly,
if it was a sequel, but not a reboot.
Well, I've enjoyed. They did the Teen Clue series. I enjoyed that. That was fun.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you didn't see when they did Clue the TV series, and it was with like high schooler kids, and it's like but it's Mustard was the jock and Green was the nerd.
I will have to Google that because that sounds like something
you had
I
Miss
should
Scarlet
watch.
and Miss White. Yeah, it was good. No Butler. So that's the. Of course, that's why Clue the movie is so interesting because there's another character, the Butler. They ever do a 50th anniversary Clue or whatever, they really have to introduce the Butler character, sort of like the wild card.
Yeah. I do have to shout out some of Ryan Reynolds' best work, Detective Pikachu. I wasn't sure about it. I'm a Pokemon fan, low key. Don't tell nobody. This is just between us hens. But yeah, I was just like, this is so good. And they got to the bottom of the Mew Mew mystery. Like, what? It's canon. I'm here, honestly, Detective Pikachu.
Oh my lord, are you hunting Pokemon, Little Hellfire?
It was
just between us hens. I'm a low key Pokemon fan. Okay, don't tell nobody. I'm enough of a nerd as it is.
So. Yeah, I mean, I liked the adaptation of well, let me put it this way: I liked the way they brought the Pokemon world to life. You know, I'm not 100% sure about Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I liked Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. I don't know if I liked Ryan Reynolds as an actual human at the end of it, because it's like, well, now where do we go now that Ryan Reynolds isn't Detective Pikachu anymore? You know, it's like
it's very right. It's a thing, kind of, if you notice in recent Ryan Reynolds movies. So it's just kind of like along those lines. It's just like, you just got to do what you got to do.
I know, but like I said, you're going to make a film with Ryan Reynolds, and then you're just going to completely shoot the sequel in the foot. Because now you guys got to go into more body switching shenanigans as the way to start the next movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, kids love it. It's really for kids. It's not for adults. Kids love it. Pokemon is that universal thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they don't have to try too hard. Kids are just going to go regardless. It was nice that Ryan Reynolds was there for the parents. Let's just put it that way. It was nice of them to think of the parents. But really, that's actually one of the movies that just for kids. Like, I'm totally fine with them having it. Let the kids have something. You guys ruined My Little Pony. Let the kids have something.
Fair enough. And actually, My Little Pony is still going strong as a young adult property.
Exactly, a creepy adult property. If you dig just past
young
the
adult,
surface,
not the creepy, not the bronies, for the kids, for the Equestria girls, all that stuff. That's
Equestria Girls is terrible. You're not a real My Little Pony fan. Get out of here, Charlie.
Equestria Girls is wonderful.
Get out of here. Everybody knows it's poop. Get out of here.
I like the cross-dimensional concept. I like the idea that we have, a pony version and
we found the brony. Get him. And Charlie answered. Only bronies like Equestria Girls. That's all I'm saying. It's a high crossover concentration. Something to think about.
I'm just saying, I'm not a brony.
Wait, I'm
just teasing.
Who happens to be male? There's a difference.
She must have stopped.
I'm just teasing.
On the way home.
Yes. No, but even beyond that, just the entire, the entire mythos of really, I kind of feel like My Little Pony really started off for this decade, even that idea of that deep, deep mythology children's cartoon, like what we eventually get with our Steven Universes and our Gravity Falls and all these kind of things. And I really think My Little Pony did all that first and really opened it up in a great way for everybody else that was going to come. It really took us out of the SpongeBob world and into the world we are today, which I think is a good thing.
SpongeBob is deep if you're high enough. I'm just saying.
Well,
so little help.
If you're high enough. That's why it's called being high, Lilith, because everything else gets deep.
Exactly. But SpongeBob specifically and especially. Okay. I can't watch it anymore.
I'm not hating on SpongeBob. I do enjoy his delightful antics. But, there's no deeper mythos there's no continuity to SpongeBob, which makes the mythos less viable. When Teen Titans Go has a stronger mythology than your cartoon, that's saying a lot.
You got there sour grapes, you got a grip of sour grapes.
I'm not sour about it. I have no skin in that game. The worst movies did happen to be like tangentially comic book related, unfortunately.
Oh.
X-Men Dark Phoenix looking at you. Glass kind of looking at you. Just saying.
Wait, who else? Who'd you say?
Glass.
Oh, Glass.
Oh, Glass. Okay.
That was so disappointing, and that's probably the point because M. Night Shyamalan don't got no F's to give. He's basically likes to troll people. I get it. If I could get paid to troll people by making movies, I'd do it too.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually see. I didn't see Glass. So
look, Unbreakable is one of my favorite freaking movies. Split caught me off guard, but Unbreakable is it's in my top 15 favorite movies, and it was cool to see the universe, but I hate how it ended. So mad. I'm like, Bruce Willis signed off on this? I was like, but the sun. Maybe we can get the sun, because the sun had a glow up. I was just like, I see you. He had a glow up. Creepy looking kid. Kind of hot now. Just saying.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, Dark Phoenix. That
was.
I don't
cool.
even know what that was about. It just really
Nobody
really
does. The writers didn't know.
You know what it was, and it really was. They all knew the merger was coming, and I think at a certain point, it got kind of tranked. It's like we're only here because, just to maintain the property, and no one's really watching, and no one really cares. And then I think they stopped caring.
Oh, they stopped caring a long time ago. Like Logan, I thought it changed with Logan. I'm like, okay, you can do good. You can do good. But you just, they didn't care. Logan proves that they could do good.
Well, they tried to do that reboot with Days of Future Past, and it's just like, okay.
They tried to have their cake and eat it too with both, though. See, you try to pleasing no one. Just saying.
Yeah. That is the truth. You have to write for yourself first.
Draw your line in the sand. Don't be afraid to kill your darlings, and people will respect you for it.
All that cliche.
Unless you're D&D from Game of Thrones. # still bitter.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
But no, we were talking about that the Fox stuff. Charlie, I guess me and Lilith were talking last night. I guess Ryan Reynolds was on live with Kelly and Ryan, and he confirmed that they are working on Deadpool 3 over at Marvel Studios.
Of course they are.
I mean, they're actually gonna pick up the continuity. Is what I'm asking. Like, really? Because that whole X-Men universe is kind of like dead. Like, so.
Well, no, they own it. Because they really own it.
You ever see those actors?
Oh,
I don't even think Zazie Beetz is coming back. So it's like.
Well, first off, I think Zazie Beetz could come back. I think that's. I think.
I think she should. I hope she does. But I feel like they probably want to try to much like the wipe the slate clean. We might get our Jerry Dugan run here, people. Just prepare yourself.
Hey, Brolin's already on the payroll, so hey.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, Deadpool is the one character that you can put a lampshade on.
Exactly.
Both figuratively and literally. In fact, I will guarantee you there will be a scene in there where he wears a lampshade.
I just need all this. I need all the Spidey cameos, at an end credit scene or something. You get Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, all just kind of eating cereal, chilling out or something. I need that.
Eating shawarma.
Yes. Somebody in the back. I'll have another. The whole thing.
They have said that they are in negotiations for a Spider-Man cameo in Venom 2.
Yes, I did see.
Speaking of bad superhero movies,
Tom Holland.
Let's judge this though. It wasn't bad for Sony, okay? On Sony's scale of superhero movies, it's not that bad. Judged against everything else, it's terrible.
Okay. I'm gonna say Raimi's Spider-Man 2 was better.
Okay, yeah, hands down, but it was better than Spider-Man 3.
Venom.
You know what? I don't know if I'm willing to go that far.
Really? With Rocket Racer? With 80 villains? No plot development. Oh my God, Charlie, that movie's a mess.
First off, I'm not saying it was a good movie.
The Sandman killed my uncle.
I'm not saying Venom was better than that.
Wow, strong statement.
It needs to be said, okay? You can't.
I found more enjoyable parts in Venom than I will ever find in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, but they tried to make Venom a little too comedic, Lil. It's like, whoa, it's pulling me over
here. Well, he's maybe Spider-Man. Well, there's no Spider-Man symbiote, so that can't work either. I was gonna say maybe the symbiote retained but nope, can't do that because there's no Spider-Man.
No, nothing makes sense about it. That's the whole problem.
Although I am hyped for Venom 2. I need Woody Harrelson as Cletus. I wouldn't believe. Dude looks like a demented Wendy's freaking logo, and I am here for it.
Oh, yeah, he's wearing the same wig.
Well, I guess if you're into wigs.
Redheads, man, redheads.
He's not a real redhead, Lilith.
Yeah, it's
not a real wet redhead.
I know.
It's all fake.
So was freaking Kristen Dunst.
Yeah. Well, that was at least her real hair.
No, actually, it wasn't. Only the front part, and the rest of it was a wig.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I go deep on my Spider-Man lore. Anyway.
I mean, no, like to me, the whole problem with Venom is that, I mean, there's no complexity to the Venom Eddie Brock dynamic. There's not even like a complexity to Eddie Brock. He's just kind of a jerky.
He's a meathead.
Well,
he's kind of but he's not. That's the thing. They want him to not be a meathead because he's like an investigative reporter. But he's
there's meathead investigative reporters. Have you met Anderson Cooper in real life? I'm just saying.
Oh, I mean, I don't care that the character is dumb, but I mean, I think we had the same problem with Eddie Brock that we had with Aquaman Charlie in the movie, that we just didn't like the character.
It's just Tom Hardy being Tom Hardy, man.
Shouldn't the main character have some redeeming quality?
Yeah, I mean, you should, I mean, but Aquaman is exactly my point. I don't feel that you should ever say, well, it was good for a DC film or it was good for a Sony film. No, there is not, you don't.
Well,
there's not a
was fun. I'll say Aquaman was fun.
Charlie and I enjoyed that.
I told you it was. I told you from the beginning, guys. You guys didn't believe me. I was like, it's gonna be pretty to look at for the ladies and not much. What was it? Pretty to look at for the ladies, but not much else.
Hey, Charlie and I enjoyed most of the rest of the movie. We just didn't like Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he just was not the right choice.
Jason Momoa.
Well, and that was the wrong choice. That's the thing.
Head back a little on yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
It's, but it's okay, But again, it's like, I'm willing. So, for example, you compare that to Shazam, which was at its core a good, and that is a one where there is a very unlikable character in Billy Batson when he becomes Shazam, and he doesn't really know how to be a hero. But then he sort of evolves, and you get a real organic growth to him, and you have his own personal quest. You have a real backstory about why he's a jerk.
Oh yeah,
because
he's a child.
He's a foster kid.
Well, he's a child. He's been abandoned by his mother.
Which isn't what happened to Aquaman. Aquaman gets basically, raised by Cape Cod Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, but he had a father, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he should have a moral center. Because he was raised by a person who was a good person with a moral center.
Maybe they're saying all fishermen are bad. Who knows?
But his father wasn't a fisherman. He was a lighthouse keeper. There was a man who was dedicated to saving people's lives. So you can't...
By being Motel 6? By leaving the light on? Okay, sure.
Yeah. Actually, that really prevents a lot of deaths. That's what it's... I mean, not in this day and age with GPS, but back in the day, when you didn't have GPS, you didn't know where the rocks were. Having a big light saying, here are the rocks, that kind of saved people's lives.
Man, old times are weird.
Yes. But anyway...
I thought lighthouses were just for paintings.
No, they actually served a very important purpose. Didn't you ever see Pete's Dragon, the original?
Yes. Oh, maybe not the original.
I don't know what that movie they made recently was, but with that was last year.
He's like, that's not hashtag not my Pete's Dragon.
That's not anyone. That's not anyone.
That's someone's Pete's Dragon, I guarantee you. No matter how bad a movie, how bad anything, there is going to be a fandom for it.
It was a bad movie. I was just mad it wasn't a musical. I was sad we didn't have, it bothered me that we didn't get characters from the original film sort of modernized or updated or homaged. And that's bothersome to me, because
especially when you get a movie like The Addams Family, honestly, where it manages to homage everything. I totally get it.
And Addams Family this year was an incredible film. Again, comic book
that no one saw. Like I said, I think it's me, you, and maybe some YouTube critics. Honest to God.
But there was it was beautiful. It took all of the canon that has gone before. Has a great shout out to New Jersey, which I love. That's how you get me in any film. Oh, they made fun of New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Speaking
Well,
of
we love
which,
it.
the Joker, like one of the most divisive movies in 2019. And I just have to say, I really hated the narrative. Oh, there's gonna be this. This is for incels, and this is gonna cause gun violence. Like, I hate that yellow journalism. I just hate it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It's just, ooh, I am smart. Look at me. Like, you're not that deep, movie. Like, hate to break it to you, Top Phillips, you're not that deep.
Well, I mean, as far as here's the thing about certain groups that gravitate to things. I think it's first off the idea that there was going to be violence around it. That reminded me of when New Jack City came out, and everyone was like, "Oh man, it's New Jack City! Watch out! There's going to be." And often that's a marketing ploy by the studio. So, I don't know if anyone here saw My Name Is Dolomite recently.
Yes.
Yes, and when Eddie Murphy is reading more, and they're reading the reviews of Dolomite. And he reads the one that says, this is the one. And he says, Dolomite is not fit to show a blind dog. It is rude, crude, obnoxious, and vile. And he says, that's the one. And and everyone's looking at him like, because people are going to want to see how rude, how crude, how obnoxious, and vile this
Exactly.
is. And, so yeah, it's part of the marketing, I think, to play up that idea like, ooh, this is cultural warriors and stuff like that. And for what it's worth, it has that real eat the rich kind of flavor, which again goes very heavily into it really kind of threads the needle between, the Antifa and the incels. So it's great.
Yeah.
And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to get everybody who has a cause to be both excited about the film and mad at the film, because that's how you sell popcorn.
I really thought that the movie, everything but I love the cinematography, I love the scoring. I thought Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing job with what he was given, but the material, I'm just like,
see, I love the material.
I also love I love Zazie Beetz in it, and I loved Brian Henry Tree from Atlanta. I was just like, oh, it's a mini Atlanta crossover. If you're not watching Atlanta, you need to be, by the way. Donald Glover, enough said.
No, but I like the script. And obviously it's and for what it's worth, this is Scorsese. Here is your comic book movie that you shouldn't be so mad about. But like I said, maybe he was just mad that everyone's talking about
He's mad at Marvel because Marvel didn't call him. He wants that sweet Marvel Holy Grail sweet cow milk there. He wants to nurse on that teat for at least movies, you see.
Yeah.
That's all. Man getting upset.
But to be fair, Marvel doesn't hire named directors. They make directors into named directors. That's their shtick, because the last time
they don't want to pay.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, all of their best films were with. Look
at all the people that they hired. Chris Evans, RDJ. Think about it. Their first movies, they weren't making that much money.
Exactly. Because you get them cheap, you find good talent, and pay them cheap. That's been Troma's model for years. Now they always don't find the good talent, but when you look at the history of popular cinema, not necessarily with Troma, but also what's his name? The guy who did the first Fantastic Four. What's his name?
Nobody knows.
No. He was the guy who gave Jack Nicholson his break. He was the guy who, a lot of guys. I hate when I lose the name. You know who I'm talking about?
The one who made the '90s Fantastic Four. Yeah.
And basically, from the '50s on, he's the guy who gave Spielberg his first shot. He's the guy who gave Jack Nicholson his first shot. All these people, and that was the model. You find somebody who's good, but who is unknown, and you make them a star. And that is Disney's model. They take someone off of indie success, because let's face it, they're all of their people. I mean, even Branagh was really an indie filmmaker. Everyone, he had all the cachet of doing Shakespeare, but he was still an indie guy, just like Barbara. And they say, well, let's get some indie guys. Let's give them $1 billion. Say, make something nice. Make something nice for the kids. And then they do, and then they make T-shirts and make $1 billion. So it is brilliant, and that's the way you do it. Instead of trying to reverse engineering it by getting big name actors and big name directors to put this stuff together, I think the biggest name that has ever been associated with Marvel, aside from Branagh, was probably Whedon, just because he had all the TV success.
Yeah.
Everyone else
And,
only got to be a
Dr.
big
Horrible
name
sing
because they
along.
went to Marvel. Yeah, well, and then of course DC brings them in for their thing. So,
And that just goes to show you can't make lightning strike twice.
well,
He was at the downturn of his career anyway. Let's just all be honest about that one.
Ooh.
well,
I love Whedon. I love Whedon as much as the next Buffy Angel fan. I do, but I can call a guy out when I see it. I don't hero worship. Everybody can get it. Okay.
There's my drop.
But it's kind of like it's kind of like a dog chasing its own tail, and that's DC's problem. Is they keep on chasing something instead of trying to make their own thing.
Exactly.
They're trying to. What I always say is they're trying to sell Pepsi with a Coke ad. And Coke and Pepsi, you can say, well, it's the same product. It's like, no, they're completely different marketing strategies. Because Pepsi's hot and Coca-Cola is cool.
And again, like
try to say that Pepsi's cool, no one's gonna say no.
Yeah.
Pepsi's hot. And try to say that Coke is hot, it was like, no, Coke isn't hot, dude.
And I think we've made the point over and over. They keep trying to chase Marvel. They want to be Marvel now, but I mean, love or hate Marvel, they made the plan.
They built it. They did the work.
To the plan, yeah.
And I don't know if DC has really gotten that lesson yet. We're gonna have to see how Wonder Woman comes out. Wonder Woman could really surprise me. I mean, I'm very excited about Wonder Woman. I'm kind of like, here's my thing. I am more excited about Black Widow than any other film in 2020, but I'm most intrigued by what they're going to do with Wonder Woman. And that is both a blessing and a curse, because I can see how they could do something that I would really enjoy, but I can also see how they might not do that at all. So, like, every time I'm mentioning,
I think it's going to be a wash, rinse, repeat. Thread the needle, keep it safe. They're not going to reinvent the wheel. They're going to give the people what they want.
Well, I kind of feel, like I said, my feeling is they're going to try and recapture something that was great about the 70s Wonder Woman. In the way that she had a positivity towards humanity. She, raised among, the Amazons and the entire basis of Amazonian culture, which is about love and respect.
She's gonna spin a lot.
And kicking people in the face, That's what the Amazons were. Love and respect and kicking you in the face if you didn't love and respect people. And I hope that's where they're going to go with that. And I hope they have, because they definitely...
Well, she is the Superman for this universe, so I think it would be smart to try to recapture that branding for some character in the damn universe.
And for what it's worth, from there you can even build into that Superman concept,
Well, it'll be Supergirl. I think they're going to try their hand with Supergirl instead of Superman now. So, which makes sense because hers is hope and compassion and all that stuff. So it actually would feed pretty well if that's the way they're going to go.
Well, I mean, the TV version, yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they're taking everything from TV at this point. Basically, the Flash movie is going to be the TV show. Supergirl is probably going to be like the TV show. It's fine.
I mean, they should really just
let Greg write the damn script. Like, jeez. Honestly,
just put the TV show on the one.
If you ever find Greg Berlanti's Flash, which got turned into Green Lantern script, it is amazing. The Barry Allen that he had for Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds supposed to be Barry Allen, not freaking.
How did they the Flash into Green Lantern? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what happened because it's DC in 2011. I will always be bitter. I will always hate that decision. And that's how he got the Flash TV show, though. But they're like, first, we need you to make a Green Arrow TV show. Yeah, it's.
Well, for what it's worth, by that point, Green Arrow was a proven property after Smallville. So
that's to be debatable, but they just couldn't get Batman. Like, Honest
Well,
to
yeah,
God
but-
truth. Same reason that happened in Smallville. That's why
Oh.
we have a Green Arrow show and not a Batman show.
Well, yeah, but because they couldn't get Batman, they had to do Batman Light with Green Arrow, but really showed how you could tell a really good story with Green Arrow.
For the first
And-
2.5 seasons.
Well, for however many seasons it was on. I
Two
mean,
and a half
honestly,
out of eight. Well, okay, 3 if you mix and match. Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. But I'm not going to get into that fight. I'm just going to say it showed that there was a depth to that character that was worth pursuing when they came out with the Arrow series. Now, of course, the Arrow series I didn't like, but that was me. You know, again, for much the same reason I didn't much like Aquaman. I didn't like the idea of a hero who's just a jerk all the time. Now, again, they had him evolve and had him get better, but you know,
No,
you lose
not
me at the
really.
start. Well, I guess he doesn't kill people as much anymore.
No, not really.
Well, then I guess that's the reason I never went back to the show. You know,
You only
Actually,
need to
Rose
watch
made
it for the crossovers. It's fine.
what made me maddest in that first season was that he's killing all the thugs, but then he lets the crime boss live.
Nobody can know his secret.
No, it's just like, why do you let the crime boss live? He's the actual villain. The thugs are literally, because they were even like corporate villains. So it's like the thugs weren't even like criminal thugs. They were just literally hired.
Security.
I've gone on this rant before. They were just hired goons like Diggle. You know, there was literally Diggle's old company there, and it's like, shoot, shoot, shoot. All of them are dead. Ha 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 ha. Mm.
Lilith.
Well, no, that's why they had to have Diggle. Like, it was originally supposed to be very comic booky. He was supposed to be very solo, but he needed to learn lessons. So give him a black magical Negro. Like that's Diggle. That's why he survived this whole time. Hey, David Ramsey knows his role. You know, he got some Blue Blood money. He's probably going to be in like that HBO Max series. You know, you just got to play your position and ride it out in some instances. It is what it is.
Yes. Although, if we can talk about the best thing,
wait.
comic book related in video this year, or do you want to still do that?
Oh wait! I thought you're. Is it going to be the biggest movie ever that came out this year? The biggest movie ever came out.
Well, the best thing wasn't a movie.
Oh no!
Oh, you talking about okay.
Talking about Watchmen.
Oh.
Oh, okay. We
That
can move
was-
to TV. That's fine.
Well, I was saying, hands down, for live action representation, the Watchmen was the best thing. I just feel it really was so well written, had such a great mythology.
And that's coming from Mr. Marvel, there, people.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is, if it didn't have Watchman's name, it'd still be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't even need that mythology to be, quite honestly, for it to be that good.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of want to have your Dr. Manhattan and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But no, you could have told that story similarly with any other pastiched superhero.
That could be like in The Boys, honestly. This could have spun out of The Boys for all we know.
Well, I mean, actually, as an interesting point, you could theoretically have a situation where you don't even have to have a superheroic universe for this. You could have had a situation where this is just a world where the cops are wearing masks.
Mm.
And then, you know, or that the superhero mythos, because the superhero mythos exists in every world. And the idea that, yeah, we're going to make our cops into superheroes in this way. And it is just sort of its own organic creature. And it is an interesting idea. You know, one of the things I've always, there's one of my favorite lines from an old handbook to the Marvel Universe, where they essentially state that that basically it was just the norm in the Marvel Universe that people would put on masks and do this. This is just a tradition that people commonly did this. This idea that because he gained superpowers, he put on a mask and immediately started fighting crime or causing crime. Because what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
And then you go back and you see, yeah, and actually see here are our masked heroes in the Old West, and here are our masked heroes in medieval times. And then, of course, Watchmen opens up with a masked hero in Bass Reeves, you know? So they really turned into that and really made a beautiful, beautiful show. I am hoping they do too. I know they don't have to, but I'm hoping they do it because it is wonderful. It is wonderful in what they did. And I will say this: it was even better than Mandalorian, which was also wonderful.
Ooh.
But I think that
Bro.
Watchmen.
Yes.
Watchmen, because if it does end, I'll be okay with Watchmen ending. I don't know if I'd be okay with Mandalorian ending.
If it gets the kids into Star Wars, fine.
Oh,
I
well,
mean,
first off, the kids were already into Star Wars even before Mandalorian.
all right.
Mandalorian
It was a dwindling interest before the Mandalorian. Just to be fair, I'm talking like
movies,
kids.
not the movies, but the Clone Wars and the.
I don't know kids, like 8-year-old kids that are watching Clone Wars. That's kind of an older, like teen and older thing. I mean, like kids.
I don't know. My 10-year-old is just absorbing the stuff, a lot. And he actually doesn't even watch the cartoons that much. He just watches the YouTube reviews. So
It's like reading the
But he
wiki.
is-
But I'll leave it
yeah,
alone.
well,
However you want to
he's
enjoy
in the
it.
weeds of it, man.
I enjoy being a casual fan. I get it. It's a lot less
Hey.
work. I get it.
Hey, I will make a controversial statement. I mean, the movies, I enjoy the movies, but I'm not like a super fan like I am with the Marvel and DC stuff. The Mandalorian, I think is maybe like my favorite Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Baby
I don't
Yoda.
think that's controversial.
Join the Baby Yoda army. It's fine.
Baby Yoda, Mandalorian. Oh my lord, that season finale. We got the season finale this week.
Oh yeah,
And it'll be back in fall 2020, guys. Just relax.
No, I know.
Rewatch. Find your Easter eggs.
No, they kind of wrapped it up. I mean, there wasn't like really a cliffhanger. So
Yeah, but they did
Mm.
did say, which is the part I love about this, is so spoilers for the last episode of Mandalorian if you haven't seen it yet.
yes,
Okay, have you seen it? Good. It's a podcast. They can stop. But the armorer basically says, he's you can't train him. He's too small, and then basically says you either have to find his people or train him when he becomes of age. So that we're
getting teenage Yoda.
We're gonna get our tridactyl Mandalorian.
I am Yoda.
Yes, it's the way this is. It's gonna be amazing.
I have spoken. Like it is in the meme culture for sure. Like you can't scroll Facebook
Yoda,
without at least 8 Mandalorian memes like within 2 minutes. So
And it's all Baby Yoda.
Oh well, hey,
not all of it.
Chicky nugget.
IG-11. That was
yes.
IG-11, and freaking Mandal and again spoilers when Mandalorian he's got the head injury and IG-11 says I have to remove your mask to heal you.
Yeah.
And he's like, no living creature's seen my face since I put it on, and he says I'm not a living creature.
Yeah.
I'm not a living thing. Yeah, exactly. And right there, oh man, you're gonna kill him, aren't you?
Nobody can know my secret.
Yeah. Well, but no.
To save them all, he blew himself up. The IG.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to know who the manufacturer is, because manufacturers' protocols, which there is like some company, probably Hutco, is out there somewhere. They're going to go to a planet and they're just making droids for the rebellion, making droids for the
for
the Emperor. Hey, that's why I always say, the Jabba the Hutt.
Oh,
Jabba the Hutt was the secret hero of the rebellion because he's mad at Han Solo for doing what? For dumping weapons when the Imperials are after him. Why are the Imperials upset about people trafficking weapons? Because those weapons are going to the rebellion. So Jabba the Hutt is selling weapons to the rebellion so that the rebellion can go on because it's good for business. And when Han Solo dumps those weapons, that is a problem. First off, not only for Jabba the Hutt because he's probably already collected money on this stuff, but it's bad for the rebellion because the rebellion needed those weapons.
Yeah, but I heard he has some kind of there's a couple lawsuits against Jabba the Hutt, claiming sexual harassment. Just ask Princess Leia.
Well, first off,
Organa.
General.
she handled that in house.
True.
Yeah. So, and as far as sexual, like I said, it was not. Well, of course, this is true of a lot of sexual harassment. It wasn't about the sex; it was about the humiliation. Because you're no way you're ever going to convince me that Jabba the Hutt has any interest in bony bipeds. He keeps them around because there's a lot of bony bipeds around, and they like to. And he knows that's a thing that's it's basically a status symbol. But the idea that a Hutt would have any interest in that, especially when you know that he's got a hot Hutt wife, if you saw the first season or episode 1, why would that be a thing? So I believe the Hutts have a massive weapons business out there, and they're selling to both sides. And I really want to see them go to the planet of the manufacturers. It's going to be great.
Oh,
Or you have a planet where it's just droids making other droids.
Droids having droids.
Well, it makes sense, that's the thing, is you could create that completely automated system, have all the sentient life on that planet die, but the droids would just keep on making other droids, because that's what we do. We design droids, we build droids, and we all have weird United Kingdom accents, weird Commonwealth accents. Commonwealth is what they call it now. New Zealand, Australian, English, Irish. Never American. There's never been an American accented droid.
Because it's awful. No matter where you live, if you're American, your accent is terrible. # deal with it, okay?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Lil Hellfire?
Anyway.
Oh my lord! But yeah, we went to TV. We skipped like I said, the biggest movie of all time came out this year, Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
that happened.
It was a great film. It was the capstone on the year. But here's what I'll say: it's like it was a film that needed 10 years to make.
Oh yeah.
Because it really is. It is a great for that franchise. Unlike some things that had endings that people were not as enthused about this year, and it really showed a great way to end something. You give your fan service. You change some things up. Have a guy sacrifice himself to save the world, despite what Maz might say. Yeah. Maz does not feel that Tony was being selfless. He felt he was being selfish because he was just trying to save his daughter rather than reset things. I had to explain to him that the time travel rules prevented them from expressly doing that. That's why they said they can't just go back and baby Thanos.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it was Endgame was great. It shows the difficulty of dealing with the fact that the world, that basically after something devastating, after the heroes lose, what happens? Well, they carry on. Although obviously, as I've said, as has been said, losing half the population of the Earth isn't going to depopulate the Earth.
No, like you said, you're going to be in the same situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to put us back to 4 billion people, maybe even 5 billion people, depending on how populated that world was, and or 4.5 billion, and that is we were there not that long ago, and New York City was still a big city. We still could maintain 2 major league sports teams there.
Can you though? Sorry, Mets. Sorry.
Well, it's the Mets have their place. People love the Mets. I will not speak.
I know. I kid.
I can like
I'm
the
a
Mets better than the
Jets
Yankees.
kind of girl anyway. Screw the Yankees.
Yeah, well, no one likes the Yankees except for Yankees fans.
I'm in Yankee country because I'm in Florida. I don't know if you know that, so.
Oh, really?
That's why I'm not showing my face.
Really, it's
a lot of retirees from New York and Florida. Like, seriously.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes
There's a Brooklyn bakery on every damn corner. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I know that Southerners don't like it when they go to Canada and are called Yankees. So that's just yeah. Don't call me a Yankee.
Really?
That makes you a Yankee.
But no, like okay, so the further south, like the more like New York it gets, and then the more north you go, the more southern it gets. Like Florida is literally A backwards. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it's Florida. Just
There's so much
appendix
good
of
TV
America.
this year though. Like not a lot of it was
Yeah.
comic book related, unfortunately, but you had like Russian Doll, if you haven't seen it, oh my god, so freaking good.
Yeah, I watched a few of the episodes. I really liked what I saw. I just, that's one of these things. It's like there's so many things that, like Maz was saying, oh, I gotta watch. What's the new Paul Rudd TV show on Netflix?
Oh yes, with yourself or something. Living with yourself.
Yeah, Living with Yourself.
That
Living
is
with
so
Yourself.
good.
I know,
So
and I
good.
really want to watch it, but it's like, okay, what am I gonna watch? And then I just usually wind up watching old cowboy TV shows on MeTV anyway. So
Better than watching Friends. Hashtag
yeah,
Friends.
well, that's good. Oh,
You had
I'm not-
Chernobyl. That was
Chernobyl
super
was
good this
quite
year.
popular. Yes, although the Russians didn't like it.
Of course. Barry
know.
continues to be the best show no one's watching.
Yeah, I know that because I'm not watching it, and I know it's a very good show. Well, that's the thing. Is like there are shows that I know are good because I've like seen one or two episodes. Oh, I really love this show.
Gotta
And
get
then
back
it's
to that. Yeah.
I got to get back to that. The Kaminsky Method.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Out of nowhere. I was just like, how did I miss this the first time?
It's well, you got to be a
Netflix
Michael Douglas.
algorithm is not very good anymore. Ever since we went to the thumbs up instead of star rating, I freaking hate the algorithm for myself.
Oh, I don't even know how that thing works because it's like stuff I'm looking for I can't find.
And the stuff you don't want in
tell
your
them that I
face.
like things? Don't they know I like it just because I'm watching it? That should be enough. Don't ask me. You already know what my name is, Netflix. Don't make this harder on me.
Charlie's like, I'm this damn close, Netflix. You're pushing me to the edge.
Well, yeah, it's like it's like first off, all the Marvel shows should be like right there in my top queue. Especially when I was podcasting about them, so I had to watch them constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And they know I watch them and I rewatch them. Why do I have to look for Jessica Jones every time I need to find it? Why Netflix? Why? And yeah, so that's Netflix. But yeah, the Kaminsky Method is, what it is? They want you to watch their new shows like Daybreak,
And then
Again?
cancel it.
and then cancel it. Yeah.
You gotta work on that algorithm there, homie. Netflix is whoever does the algorithms has been fired. They're trying to replace them or something. It's been terrible.
Well, what Netflix's problem is they've invested a lot in new content, and they need to justify that to the people that invest in Netflix, because they're not publicly traded yet, right? They're still all venture capital, right?
Yeah, that's why they're bleeding money left and right. Yeah, as a public company, you can't do that.
People just throwing money at it, which is, I don't know how much longer Netflix is going to be with us. To be honest,
People have been saying that about SoundCloud too, and it's still here. They've been saying that about 10 years about SoundCloud. Netflix ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but Disney Plus, I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of people have a lot of issues with Disney Plus. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
So
Hi,
Netflix's
Diane.
customer service is super good. Their user interface on whatever. Looking at you, iPad. Pretty good except for iPad. Netflix on iPad is horrible. That's an iOS thing though. Yeah. That's what happens when you only have one.
Well, everything on iOS is awful.
Netflix or Disney Plus?
Both. It's something about the iOS system that's just very hard to work with, even though it's only one damn device, like 3 devices that the structure, like apps. I get why people do Apple only, because you only have time to deal with the Apple problems. I get it.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that, iOS, first off, Apple is always trying to, Apple wants to be a monopoly, and that's Apple's problem.
But it can't be, because Apple products are literally just the best parts from all the other products. So, like, whatever. Like,
best part?
Yes, no. With the exception of their
so much better than iPhone.
With the exception of the processing chip, which is in-house. Their screens are from Samsung. The cameras aren't even Apple cameras. They're from some Chinese company. So So yeah, they
I see what
cannibalize
you mean.
everything and try to. That's why your phone is just saying,
Yeah.
because they got to pay all these other people.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is that Apple doesn't want to make it easy to use Netflix. They want you to use Apple TV,
Which is terrible. Everybody I've ever known that has
exactly.
Apple TV, it's a horrible experience.
They don't even have a lot of good programming on there, do they?
Well,
Well, there's Apple TV,
it.
like it's like a Fire Stick too. There's Apple TV, there's streaming
Yeah.
service now, but then there's actually the Apple TV device.
Yeah,
Well, exactly. Yeah, there is the Apple TV device.
That Apple TV device is horrible, and Apple TV is horrible. There's nothing on there.
I know. Well, it's because they don't have. That's the difference between a closed source and an open source. When stuff is made to just, for example, I guarantee you that's 90% of the reason why Disney made sure that they were on Amazon.
Yeah.
At first they didn't want to because they're going to think, well, it's a competitor, but at the same time, what the heck are we doing? If we're not there, then that just gives that entire space.
Amazon Prime, baby. Those Prime TV shows are getting really good. Like, speaking of which, watch Fleabag. 2 seasons. It's a British show.
Oh my gosh, Fleabag is so amazing.
So amazing. Like, I actually saw the play. Like, somebody had it on like DVD, and so the show is actually based on a play. And then I was like, oh my god, she made it. They actually gave her a TV show. It's so good.
I know. I mean, I don't even mind that it's just a horrible ripoff of Miranda. But yeah.
Yes. I think she even in interviews she mentions that actually. A couple of interviews I've seen.
And to be, it's like, oh, what if Miranda was like hot? So it's like, oh, okay.
Well, not that she was hot, that she's a sex addict, like a super sex addict.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I loved Miranda, and that's one thing the Amazon algorithm knows. It's like, you watch Fleabag, here's Miranda.
Exactly. Thank you. That even though the interface is kind of terrible unless you have like a native app on your TV, it's totally still worth it to watch the TV shows.
Oh yeah, and but Fleabag is great, and again, I hear great things about Man in the High Castle. Haven't really.
I still haven't watched it. It's been like 8 seasons now, and I'm just like, eh. I read the book.
And
it's
at
fine.
a certain point, it's like, do I really want to go back?
Yeah, I read a lot of PKD. I'm good. I don't need it.
In Amazon Prime, of course, The Boys.
Yes, The Boys was surprisingly good. Like, I didn't really like Good Omens. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all can add me all you want to. Good Omens, but The Boys, that adaptation was everything.
Yeah, The Boys was good because they made it open-ended, and they parted from the comics in significant ways that made the story better.
It made sense, though, too, for the story that they were telling.
Exactly. Well, it made sense.
And Carl Urban was just auditioning to be Wolverine. Can we all just be honest? The Boys is just Carl. It's just his audition for Wolverine. It's fine. That's
fine. And if they want to bring him in, they're fine. Disney's talking to people. They've said they put out a courtesy call to Hugh as well on the subject.
He's done. He's like, I just want to sing and dance and host award shows. Leave me alone.
To be fair, and it is like, it's like Chris Evans. Chris Evans still in great shape, but he's like, yeah,
I want to eat a donut. I'm tired. I'm hungry.
I remember watching. It was called Lights, Camera, Action. It was an old Nickelodeon show. It was actually a CBC show hosted by Leonard Nimoy back in the 80s. And because all of Nickelodeon shows actually started as CBC shows, but they just review movies and production and stuff like that, and talk about the craft of making films. And they were doing like I think it was Octopussy. With Roger Moore. They're saying Roger Moore does a lot of his own stunts, including the start of this amazing swing. It just shows him holding the rope, and then he like swings for like a foot, and then they bring in the stunt double. Wow. So it just, Chris Evans doesn't want to get to that Roger Moore state where it's like, bring in the stunt double sooner.
Yeah, Chris Evans and Hugh Jackman are going to be like the new Stan Lees making cameos.
Oh, speaking of which. Rogers. Oh my God! Did anybody see Wonderful Day in the Neighborhood? The Mr. Rogers documentary and the movie. You have to watch the documentary and the movie. They're so complementary to each other. Like, wow. Yeah. Best doc I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and I know because first off, I listened to the original This American Life version of it, so it's like I'm familiar with it.
Upon it in a very significant way. It's so good.
Oh, I'm sure it was a 30-minute piece on This American Life. I'm sure this is so much more, you know. And even that was like a 4-page New Yorker article. So yeah, there's a lot to the story, or Rolling Stone, maybe I forget who the original publisher was. But yeah, it's an amazing. I'm sure it's amazing. I've only heard good things, and it's about Mr. Rogers, who's just a wonderful guy.
Like, you can't believe somebody actually like that existed. Honestly, like,
well, I mean,
look at like, well,
you know what's weird? Yeah, I mean, basically, there's a lot of people who you think were nice who wind up not being.
Exactly.
You know, and for what it's worth, I will say this: Eddie Murphy was really tame with his with his jokes about
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby on Saturday Night Live this last week. Be like, I can't believe
he just got back into Hollywood's good graces. To be honest, let's all be honest. He had kind of here for a while, so he's, you know, he's easing himself back in.
You know,
it's a different world now.
Eddie Murphy wants to do certain things that he's not necessarily good at.
He wants to party.
So
party all the time.
That is one of my favorite songs. So you shut your mouth, Philip.
It actually is a good song, Philip. But and actually, I'm thinking about The Adventures of Pluto Nash. You know,
which wasn't that bad. Yeah, it just needed some polishing.
It wasn't that good at it. You know, Pluto Nash and Leonard Part 6, I think, are about comparable films.
Ouch.
Yeah, but you know what I will say about Eddie Murphy's been making fun of Bill Cosby since Raw. So,
now never meet your heroes kind of thing. At this point, he wanted to be Bill Cosby, but before Bill Cosby went to his clean act, he had a filthy mouth. Like, wow,
it wasn't. What was that? The other thing, like Bill Cosby always told like all the young black comedians, you shouldn't
pull up yours.
Pull up your pants. Don't use the blue material and stuff. And it's like, really? Now that you know what he's doing, really?
Well, actually, Bill. Well. First up, one's material, one's and Bill Cosby was always of two minds on that as well. And again, to bring it back to My Name Is Dolomite, when Rudy Ray Moore started climbing the comedy charts, Bill Cosby started doing his blue stuff and did his bits about Spanish Fly and all that kind of stuff. Which, and I will say, Spanish Fly isn't a drug to cause people to lose consciousness. Spanish Fly is something that is an aphrodisiac, meaning it intensifies arousal.
Horny goat weed.
Well, yeah. But no, just because I always hated that when people were, he did the thing about Spanish Fly, and Spanish Fly is just, trying to keep it PG here, but Spanish Fly is just a thing to make people do this, like what Bill Cosby was doing. And no, it's not. It's actually first off, it's something that doesn't exist, and second off, it's something that actually has a different quality to what it's doing. It's about making people want to do that, not putting you in a position where you can do that to people against their will. So there's a difference. With Spanish Fly, you still have complete control to consent or to find someone else to do what you want them to do.
I'm just glad that Eddie Murphy's back, honestly, in a big way. Like, I love Eddie Murphy's comedy. I feel like in this day and age where Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are kind of tired, I'm like glad to see like Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence and all the old timers kind of like come back and like show them how it's done. So
yeah,
especially with Paul Mooney gone and Charlie Murphy's gone and all that stuff. Like, it's really good to see the old timers kind of like come back into the limelight in comedy. So
I have to agree, and I'm like I said, I loved My Name Is Dolomite. That's just a fantastic film. Speaking about good things you should be watching, and again, see, My Name Is Dolomite is the kind of film that Eddie Murphy wants to make, and yet he found a way to actually do it and make it good. Because he wants to do stuff that's a little deeper.
And that's why we need Netflix, to be honest. That's why we need Netflix.
Yeah. I'm not saying we don't need Netflix. I'm saying Netflix is in a rough spot because they're bleeding money. And they're losing a lot of their contracts as the new streaming services come online.
But it's all gonna collapse in on itself, and like it's like the whole piracy thing. When there were only like 1 or 2 or 3 streamings, piracy went down. Now that there's like 15 of them, piracy is up again. I'm just saying. Look, like the meme says, ain't nobody got money for 8 streaming services. Work it out between yourselves.
Yeah, well, I mean,
is one or two of these gonna collapse just because there are so many now?
Well, yeah, I mean, CBS.
And people are starting. It feels like the '90s.com bubble where every day you hear about a new damn streaming service. It's just like that's not gonna last.
The only chance CBS All Access has Charlie Esther's Picard.
Well, no, that's not true. CBS All Access has its fans and the old people that learned how to stream. They love The Good Fight. Yeah. They love The Twilight Zone. It's a couple of other shows that, if I had the time and I was filming in my grandma mode, I would watch. But
how many
but are you going to pay the whatever it is a month?
Old people. For old people, CBS is a proven brand. Ain't never let them down. Yeah. So CBS All Access might not be going anywhere.
But old people are cheap, and a lot of them know how to stream.
They're like the only ones with income.
A lot of them are.
Well, but NBC.
Now that's a whole nother story. NBC is a mess.
Well, but they have, because they just started saying that the only place you can stream The Good Place now is on the NBC app.
Netflix would like to have a word with you.
Well,
all you gotta do is switch your Netflix settings to a different country, because Netflix it's technically an original programming. Boom, there you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think they do some geolocating, and you probably have to. You need a
VPN. You need a VPN, but it's fine. It's fine. Just Google it. Google it. It's easy.
The magic box just does what I say. I don't make it do things.
Yeah, because
I don't have that kind of hubris, Lilith. I don't try to make the magic box do
things. Charlie, I definitely think we forgot to mention What We Do in the Shadows. If you're not watching that, you're crazy.
Oh.
If you like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I feel like that's a perfect compliment show. Perfect.
The movie and again, one of these situations where the TV show expands upon the movie, does the movie and it goes past it. Yeah, it takes what was great and then doesn't necessarily. It changes just enough so that they have further to go with the story, and it's great. It is fantastic, and again, a show that I know it's good because I've seen a few episodes, but I just don't get the chance to watch it all the time. It's like,
I've had a week off from work, and all I've been doing is going down my binge list. Thank God they changed the format to 8 episodes instead of 13, though, like, for most shows.
Well, this is the advantage of having dogs that don't want the TV.
They actually enjoy what I watch, so it's fine. If they don't, they get up and walk out of the room. If I'm watching Arrow, they're like, oh, God, not this again. And walk out of the room. But everything else, they're not.
Yeah, but now I have a PS4, so it's a constant fight not to have the TV. So
that's your own doing there, sir.
Well, no, that was actually the grandmother's doing, not my doing.
I was gonna say, just find a little screen to hook that PS4 to.
Yes, well, that's what I do. That's what I have to do with the streaming with there. It's like, it's
poor dad.
Screen. Oh, he needs one of those 3D visor things.
Well, to be fair, my eyes are going anyway, so it's like I have to hold it that close, It's like either this or like this,
There's your $1 million idea. Eyeglasses that can hold your phone like right next to your face.
Oh, they do have that already. It lifts up to your face. Yeah,
that's basically, and that's cardboard VR. They have that. They've had that for a while.
Have you, as a BoJack Horseman fan, have you seen Tuca and Birdie, Charlie? I thought it was great. Did. I was bummed that it was only one season.
I guess. I mean, it was okay. It was a little. It was. The animation was a bit bendy for me, and it's also probably. I'm just going to say, probably a little hipster millennial for me.
Probably.
It's a little too. It's a little like, oh, we're New Yorkers, and we take drugs, and aren't we fun and happy?
It was like if you like Broads. Is it Broads? It's like that, but animated.
I know exactly what it is. Yeah, it's Broad City with birds, and it's and I enjoyed Broad City, but again, I had the exact same complaint about it. Oh, look, it's hipster white people that don't work for a living.
Well, to be fair, Tiffany Haddish isn't white.
To be fair, they're white enough. It's whatever there is. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. They are white enough.
Have you been to Brooklyn lately? I think that's a pretty accurate portrayal.
Yeah,
Williamsburg is definitely like that.
I mean, I'm not saying that these people don't exist. But it's like Girls. Again, another show everyone says. To me, it's like I don't want to hear about people that have someone paying their rent.
Exactly. I get you. Like Girls, I prefer Broad City over Girls all day.
Obviously anyone would, but
Lena Dunham would like to have a word with you, sir.
Well, Lena Dunham can have her own words. At the end of the day, it's the same. First off, Lena Dunham is so mad that I didn't like her show. It's like you did okay. You did okay. You don't need me to support your show. Trust me. Fat middle-aged guys is not the target demographic.
You'd be surprised what some shows' demographics are, but
yeah. But anyway, but that's like to me, and it's not that I don't like Broad City. I enjoyed it. It's funny. Tika and Birdie, I enjoyed it. It was funny, but at the same time, there's this quality to it that So as an example, you could argue that Steven Universe has many of the same kind of dynamics. Nobody really works for a living. Although Steve, I guess not George, but Greg Universe does own the car wash, so I guess he does have a job. And now he recently $. But like when they meet the Venus flytrap, or was she a sunflower? It was like the second or first season was like the super cool neighbor, and just the whole vibe of it. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. It's sort of like Friends, where it's like
self-absorbed white people. I agree. 9/11 happens. Let's not discuss it. There's one black person in like the second to last season, and we never see her again. Yeah. I get you.
Well, actually, no. There is a black person in the first season of Friends.
In the background,
which was Monica's
in Monica's restaurant.
Yeah, she actually has several scenes of Monica and her talking about stuff, and she was a character for like that first season, and then they just decided to just focus on the people in the apartment, because we never actually see anything that goes on in any of Monica's restaurants after that.
Because she's terrible at her job. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, well, she probably is a little too precise to be a proper chef.
Yeah.
Chefs, they tend to, you
gotta get it down.
Sometimes have to pick it up off the floor and throw it back in the oven for a few minutes.
Yeah. Don't ever look in the kitchen of where you eat. That's all I'm saying. In a restaurant.
Just be prepared for it. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, pick yourself up.
One of my Christmas gifts just fell. It's fine. Oh, but the best show, the absolute best show that you are not watching, stars Christina Applegate, and it is called Dead to Me. And I am in love with this show. There's only like 8 people on the subreddit. Come find us. Let's chat, please.
I'm even a huge Christina Applegate fan. And I was like, I should really watch that.
It is
Drew Barrymore's show.
No, that's canceled and that's terrible. The only reason I watched it was for Josh Duhamel, because poor Josh Duhamel. He's been through so much. Oh no, wait, is that not Josh Duhamel? Is that the other guy that looks like Josh Duhamel?
I have no idea.
Elephant. I don't know. All those white guys look alike. Throw a cowboy hat on it.
They do. But I love Christina Applegate. I've been a fan of her since Married with Children.
Me too.
She does misreport her age a lot. But
it's fine. Okay. It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
She survived cancer. She's a founding member of the Pussycat Dolls. You're going to leave Christina Applegate alone. Gosh darn it.
I have nothing bad to say about her. I've always loved her. I've been a fan of her.
This TV show just proves that she had been pigeonholed so much. It's a dark comedy. It's so good. It's so good.
Oh no, she's fantastic at that. I loved. What was that?
That was another show where that was Heather Graham. I'm thinking. No, she did have one other show. But no. What's the Will Ferrell movies? Anchorman.
Dumb and
Oh my
Dumber.
god, she's so good at Anchorman.
Oh, she's great in Anchorman. Yeah, she's great in everything she does. She's a really talented actress, and I love that about her. She's fantastic, and yeah,
you gotta watch
just,
it. Come join us on the subreddit. Please.
Yeah, I will. Oh gosh, now I have to go on the computer later. Yes, tap. Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
but no, I was going to say, I mean, it's not finished yet. We only got the first 3 episodes, but I think they did a pretty damn good job, the Arrowverse, on the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, there's some stuff for me to nitpick, but it could be worse. I feel like the cameos were overblown for sure.
No, but I mean, well, just with their budget and their, all the things they have.
I
on
love
CW.
the Supergirl scene. I love Supergirl with. Is that your cousin? Is that my cousin? Kind of, sort of.
It's like Ray Palmer.
Exactly, because it's a play on when he says she kind of looks like my cousin. So I was just like, yeah. They followed it up. It paid off 5 seasons later.
And the internet's all saying, hey, we're getting a new Superman show. No, we don't need this Tyler guy. Give it to Brandon Routh.
Basically, that's what happens when you announce somebody's leaving, and then you give them a great part like Kingdom Come, which is technically supposed to be the canon to to the movie we don't talk about in the Superman fandom. No, not the one. Sorry, Tyler. Yeah, Superman Returns is kind of one of those movies we don't talk about in the fandom.
Okay.
But now that Brandon has knocked it out of the park as Ray Palmer, people really did go revisit it and kind of it's not his fault. They wanted him to be George Russo. That's what he did. It's not his fault. They wanted.
Yeah. I actually, it wasn't a bad adaptation. I mean, it wasn't
the
a
whole
good
kid
adaptation.
thing though, and the guy being a capo, like I was just like, all right, whatever. It's the 2000s. We got to update the mythos. It's fine. Somebody really liked Donner's idea. It's fine. It's fine.
It was the writing. Brandon Routh did what he could.
And let's be honest. Kevin
Nobody
Spacey's
wants
Lex
to see
Luthor
someone get
killed
shot
it.
in the eye.
I actually love that special effect like so much. And you're just poop on it. I love it.
That is something. I'm sure that is something you gotta love or hate, and I am definitely in the hate camp. And they put it right in the trailer.
Nitpick that like ever. Like
Really?
the first person. I mean, that shot's so cool. It's very Matrix-esque, and I don't know. I guess as a 90s kid, we get it. We can relate.
Okay, you 90s. Yeah, 90s kids, get off my lawn.
But who knew Kevin Spacey could play a villain?
Oh, everybody. Have you seen American Beauty? I'm just saying.
I defend his personal life. Well,
that was an open secret too. So whatever. Yeah. If you even tangentially highly related, that was not surprising at all.
Well, it is showbiz. Anyway, but what else is going on?
I know you guys don't watch it, but I think Walking Dead's still been good, even though they lost like their main character.
Okay.
And they're still what, Lil?
No, you just reminded me one of the best comic books of the year.
Oh, Walking Dead, it came to an end. That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that the TV show is chugging along. I'm never going to watch the movies. I am a comic book fan only, apparently.
And they're still milking the TV show because the second spinoff show is coming. So
okay, it's Fear the Walking Dead, and then what? Fear the Living? Like what? What?
Well, to be fair.
Yes, to be fair.
It's like Walking Dead: The World After, because I guess it's going to focus on. I don't know.
Are they going to go off on an island and rebuild society? Because that's the part we never see.
Well, no, I think they said, I don't know. I guess it's teenagers or something. They're going to focus on kids who actually like grew up.
Daybreak would like to have a word with you. It ain't going to work.
Well, no, this would be children that grew up. So, like, if you were born into the world of zombies.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just.
But Carl's dead, right?
Yeah, Carl.
That's the only way I would want to watch it. If it's Carl.
It's gonna be all new characters, just like Fear.
Oh, like what are they doing?
But it's just like with Fear, season 4 happens, and they'll have.
Is it gonna be on AMC?
What?
Because AMC does not trend for teenagers. Like that demographic is gonna be so weird.
Well, they're gonna try. Oh, AMC's not letting Walking Dead go. They're gonna pry that from their cold dead hand.
Wow.
You know, I never understand in these. Why don't they just go to Canada or Alaska?
Where it's
Or
super,
all
super
the-
cold. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
well,
it
the
depends on
zombies-
each zombie's mythology. Sometimes that could work.
Mhm.
I know in God, what is that show? The one that made fun of The Walking Dead with DJ Qualls. I can't think of it right now. But they call
Yeah, but
zombies kittens and puppies. But yeah, like it slowed them down, but it
Oh.
didn't necessarily kill them. Basically, what you had to do was dig a big old trench and force them in there, and that was their answer to zombie control. And I was like, okay.
And then
That
I
was
can't think of the
Z-Nation.
show. I can't think of the
And then
show.
the-
Yeah,
Z-Nation?
Z Nation. Thank you. That
Yeah,
is
Z
great.
Nation, for as low budget as it was a really fun show.
And
Plus,
it
that was
had so many twists and turns. Like, because you think,
Yeah.
you see the guy from Lost, you're like, okay, this guy's going to be a main character. Spoilers, he's not.
Yeah, well, you know, that's
You see the
Yeah,
Tom
you-
Hanks lookalike, you think he's going to be a main character. Spoilers, he's not.
yeah.
And
But to
it's
be
a black
fair,
female-led zombie show. Like, what? Z Nation had no right to be as good as it was on the budget that it had on Sci-Fi, of
Wow.
all places.
you know, Sci-Fi does some good shows.
Sharknado would like to have a word with you.
They're all good. I said they do some good shows.
Hashtag justice for Dresden Files. I will forever be bitter about that. Read the books, watch the first season, keep Paul Blackthorne working.
Oh, yeah, but you just reminded me. Oh, yeah, and then we got some deep. Well, Krypton got 2 seasons that got canceled, but then we got a successful season of Pennyworth also this year.
Yep,
Oh.
got a season 2. Looking
Yeah.
forward to it. Looking forward to binging it. Like, I can't do it on a week-to-week basis. It's a little too slow for me.
Yeah.
What, Pennyworth?
And I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for Epics. I'm sorry. You know. It's like I'm not.
Did you
paying.
not find anything else on Epics? I'm sure there's other stuff.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm already paying for Netflix.
And I don't think they have a lot of originals. I was looking. I think a lot of it is just like, they rerun movies and stuff. I don't like.
Yeah. And there's movies I haven't watched on Tubi yet. So, you know.
I know, my Tubi queue is out of control. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I've been watching all the MST because there's like 1,000 MST3Ks on there, plus riff tracks. And it's like, why would I leave? It's,
But yeah,
Plus, somebody loves Adobe Gillis, and there's lots of stuff there that is very attractive and tempting to watch. And then I have Netflix, which has a lot of other stuff too. And like, to me, that is Netflix's redemption, is that once these places cycle through their seasons, just like as happens with the WB shows, everything else, they're going to find their way over to Netflix or one of the other streaming services. So why pay to watch? It's like this. I don't see a reason, especially since I'm not doing Pennyworth. I'm not doing a Pennyworth podcast. I don't need to see Pennyworth right now. I can wait for it to come onto Netflix, and then I can watch it.
well, yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's their big problem. I mean, Pennyworth is very, very excellent, but it's like, again, yeah, Epix doesn't have that much original content, so you really don't have anything else bringing people in.
Exactly. So, and we haven't actually spoken about yet, which is actually kind of shocking, is Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, that was 2018, technically.
That was December 2018. Yeah.
Oh, okay, then never mind it. Back with that then.
Everybody knows
Nobody
it's
likes
great.
you,
The best
Spider-Verse.
thing Sony's done since the A720 camera. I get it. I love it.
Yeah. It was very good. But, but
I mean, we got a lot of things in December 2018. That was Aquaman. That was Into the Spider-Verse.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta cash
Yeah,
in
well,
on that Christmas.
uh,
Everybody being
and then,
home.
they gave
You
us-
know?
then they did Venom. So.
Mhm.
Again, Venom has its fans.
Oh,
Everybody's judging it on that Sony scale.
I'm
which-
sure.
Take what you can get, man. I get it.
Yeah, I guess so. I just, to me, it's just weird. And I guess maybe they're like, well, we're gonna own our own Spider-Verse. It's like, why? Why do you want to build a Spider-Verse?
Well, because Marvel's not interested in Miles Morales, and I think that's fine. Find your niche, expand it.
I
own
think
it.
they have interest in Miles Morales.
They're
I
too
think
busy
they have
calling high
interest
school
in
Peter
Miles
Parker.
Morales.
When he gets
They're
to
just-
college, call me, okay? They're very too much interested in high
exactly.
school
That's
age
gonna
Peter
be
Parker to do Miles Morales.
I think that's the thing. Once he ages out, once Tom Holland ages out, then they're going to be like, "Hey, let's bring in Miles Morales."
Yeah.
Exactly. They will.
They're thinking long game.
Tom Holland.
They're thinking long game.
Yeah. They will.
But by then they're
kill him
kind of alienated. It's kind of like, oh, Black Panther's nice, but where's my Black Panther 2? It's gonna take forever. It's kind of one of those
it's
things.
It's coming.
They take their time on all of them. I mean, look, Doctor Strange 2's been how many years after?
Nobody
Doctor Strange
cares. Nobody cares about Doctor Strange. Let's all be honest. Nobody cares.
Well, and that's they're going to do Doctor Strange. They're going to do Black Panther 2 just before they do the next big.
It was just like Thor: The Dark.
Everyone,
Nobody really wanted it, but it just happened, so we just went with it. And then 3 got to be good, so whatever.
well, exactly. And for Doctor Strange, it is to pull in the WandaVision show.
Oh,
And
that's
so
true.
That that's literally. I think that they're doing Doctor Strange to have a great tie-in for the Scarlet Witch, because they know there's something they can do with this character.
Oh, you Marvel nerds would know. Is it true we're getting a new Loki? Tom Hiddleston's out.
No,
I didn't hear this. I
Okay.
thought.
well, I mean, I've heard that they're probably gonna have alternate versions of Loki, and we might get we'll get chick Loki, we'll get young Loki. He's got the Tesseract. He's time traveling. He's gonna cross his own path, just like Doctor Who.
Okay.
So yeah, and and it'll be yes, and this was the time I was a hot chick. Because you never see old lady Loki, only young lady Loki. Because he's
Get
a
Marissa
shapeshifter.
Tomei on the phone.
Like his male self. Hey, Marissa Tomei would be a really hot young lady Loki. I don't think you could call her old lady Loki.
Anybody that's
I'm
over
just
25 in Hollywood, you're old. I'm sorry, that's Hollywood rules, not mine. If you're 30, you're ancient.
Yeah.
If you're 40 and still working, you're a gosh darn miracle. Unfortunately, #sexism sucks. Because you can be a man and work until you're 90. Looking at you,
De Niro.
Patrick Stewart.
Any of them. Although to be
He said
fair,
any of them. Michael Caine. Yes. There's a long, long list. Meanwhile, on the lady side, it's like Meryl Streep, Sally Field, maybe. Is she still working? I don't know.
Yeah, she was in Aunt May not too long ago. So, that's the thing. It's,
You should probably get to comic books, guys.
I mean, sure.
I was like, that's almost the only thing I care about.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Well, let's talk about.
And it is
Peter
a Christmas
Parker.
movie, Charlie.
What is it?
Home Alone.
Home Alone is a Christmas movie.
Well, if you
Not
count
really.
if you count Die Hard, yeah, you got to count Home Alone.
I don't really actually. I only count Die Hard as tongue in cheek, but Home Alone is a Christmas movie for me, and I will.
I mean, I will
in
say
person.
this: Home Alone
It
has
was
a
burned.
stronger tie to being a Christmas movie because there is a family element to it, but that family element is not required for it.
Nobody goes to Paris for Thanksgiving. That's all I'm saying.
Who goes to Paris for Christmas?
I have.
Rich people.
Well, yes, but you're not a family.
Rich people. Look at that house.
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously,
He was a mobster. Everybody knows it. It's fine. But his brother paid for the tickets because they wanted to be together on Christmas.
I was gonna say, what kind of drugs was that dad selling?
Some kind. But anyway, yeah. But like I said,
The Christmas spirit. He had to learn the power of Christmas spirit. It is a Christmas movie.
And like I said, Home Alone, you can make a stronger argument for that than Die Hard.
Oh yeah.
Die Hard is only.
Die Hard just happens on Christmas. Christmas Eve. Everybody knows that. And it was in July. It was released in like July, so it really doesn't count.
Well, exactly. Which is why it is really thought of as a Christmas movie, because nothing about it is Christmas except that there is a Christmas party in it. That again could have been any number. And for what it's worth, my company's doing their Christmas party in January, so
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, well,
terrible HR management, Charlie. Terrible HR management.
Well, it's
as an HR person, I had mine at the beginning of December before my birthday, so nobody.
I wasn't there in the planning sequences. I'm just there to implement the new software. So, let's talk Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham.
Oh, he's going right to the
Shall
curve.
we?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, speaking of Spider-Verse, which wasn't this year, but the year before, we can start off with of course a quick origin of Spider-Ham with the classic art design, and then we go into the basic thing, and it's basically him just talking about how cool it is that he was one of the Web Warriors and traveled through different dimensions. It's basically just talking himself up to all of the scavengers. There's Captain America and Iron Mouse and all that kind of stuff. And it's great. It's fun. Here's Ant. And they do a smart thing where they have Squawk Eye fire the arrow. Ant gets on it, and then Ant enlarges himself and the arrow so that it does a devastating blast to wipe out the Moltrons. Yeah. Anyway, it's great. It's fun. Aunt May Porker, who he calls Aunt Ham, which doesn't make any sense. But basically, it's all about how Peter Porker is very full of himself, and he's kind of mad that the Larvaverse isn't really a center of anything important. And then, of course, big glowy sky thing comes down, and he's all excited. And then we get Daredevil touches the big glowy sky thing, turns black and white. It's gritty. And then Hulk Bunny and Thung and I forget what they call their thing, but also get all like that. And then this is what's weird, because the Fantastic Four used to all be bears, but now we have a Mooster Fantastic. So I'm not quite sure about that. So you have Black Colt, which I believe was original, and the Submarsupial, which again I'm not sure if that is. But you know who's in this film? Do you know why this is my favorite book?
Is that supposed to be Namor?
Yeah, the Submarsupial.
Submars.
Poor thing.
No, who's in it?
Who's it?
Otto?
No. Better than Otto. Can you see who that is?
B Yonder.
The Bee Yonder is back. Because they're using him to power the WebWare watch. Because they have to go to another dimension to solve things, but they don't want Spider-Ham to do it because he's an idiot.
Much like the real Peter Parker.
Yeah, Iron Mouse is going to do it, but then Peter Porker steals it, and then I guess he comes to the 616 next week because there's MJ. That's the.
Oh, no, that's not gonna be a crossover with Amazing Mary Jane, is it?
No,
that would be everything.
That would be amazing, but Peter's on the cover next month, so I may get this pulled, man. I really love me my Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. So that was
a light, and I mean a super light week.
Oh yeah, Christmas week. Yeah.
But I have to say the best book I read was actually Outcast by Kirkman and Azteca. It's number 43. It's going to the final arc of the story. This was pushed back for a while. I forget why, but it was pushed back for a while. But I think it was definitely worth the wait. I love this artwork. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Outcast. Are you guys familiar with Outcast?
I'm familiar with the story, but I haven't really read it.
Oh yeah, it's great. The artwork is beautiful. It's about this guy named Kyle. He's on a mission to save the world. There's like these beings that can possess you, and they're that movie. Oh God, by Stephanie Myers, who wrote Twilight. It's kind of like that, where the aliens kind of come in and bond with you and take over, that kind of thing. So, but his sidekick has gotten possessed, and so now they're off on another side quest. So we have to sit there first before we can get to the end mission. So, but yeah, no, it's interesting. I really like the work that Kirkman puts in with character work. Really makes you care about the characters. And 50 is a short journey for him, so good for him.
Oh,
here we go. My favorite book this year was actually last week's book.
Oh, you picked it up?
I picked it up. the live action cover. This girl is actually from New Jersey and from North Arlington, where my comic book is from. So there was a lot of buzz about this book. So that I had it. It was like it's a collector's item now. At least in North Jersey. But oh man, Gwenpool Strikes Back issue 5. Also, we tell Gwenpool goes home? Question mark.
Yes.
In Dragobang.
You see what I was talking about? I was just like as a person that's not super familiar with Gwenpool, it was just kind of like, oh, okay.
But no, this is beautiful. If you're a Gwenpool fan, this is everything you love about Gwenpool. Everything about her reality manipulation powers. And like I said, that she got called out. And actually, again, this is one of the things that's like my big disappointment this week.
Oh, incoming one.
Oh, that was just, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But when she got called out in the history of the Marvel Universe, it was like, whoa, they're giving Gwenpool her own entry. That just says what's awesome about this character. And of course, we get her evolution and her story and, you know, her and Kamala. And it's kind of beautiful and terrifying and awesome when Kamala basically talks her into retconning herself. And you can see her like trying to block it out because she doesn't want to retcon it. But as soon as she starts thinking about it, it starts to change her reality. And this is why she can go to Krakoa, because now Kamala told her she was a mutant. And she's like, I know I'm not a mutant. She goes back to, you know, her space. And then kind of fun and shocking because she almost is afraid she can't see the white space anymore.
Yeah.
But then she finds it and she hops into it, you know. And her and Quentin, they're a thing again. And yeah, so she gets to continue to exist. She's got pages into her future.
Just this once, everybody lives.
And do you know how she ensures that she will always be a part of the Marvel Universe?
How?
Hickman entry.
Ah.
I love that. And I love you. P.S. You can't control me and you never will. No. That's just so much of who she is. And all right. And she realizes that also she is going to stop being because, you know, she was only here to be the bridging device for her character, and that she'll be someone else the next time. But she's just glad that she was able to save herself in this situation. And it was just, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It really is. She's just grown so much and matured so much. And it's just been such a great journey. And Gwenpool is just, I love this character so much.
All right.
And she's everything that this was. That's it. My pick of the year. Gwenpool number 5. Gwenpool Strikes Back number 5.
Your pick of the year. So you're saying better than Champions?
Yeah.
Better than Superior Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, Superior Spider-Man ended very poorly.
Oh yeah. I knew
it had to though. You knew that ending was coming. It was only going to be able to end.
No, it didn't have to. There was a lot of ways they could have
They telegraphed it pretty well though.
You could have had original auto and some kind of like, you know.
Yeah, and also you didn't have to use freaking Mephisto.
Again.
Mephisto is key to everything now. He's going to be revealed to be Uncle Ben.
I know. He gets his mention in here. Ugh.
2025, mark my words.
Oh no, Mephisto's all over 2020. Trust me.
I mean,
they're going to drag that out to 2025. But the Uncle Ben reveal. Okay. But no.
If I have to get hired at Marvel and make it happen myself, it's going to happen.
You may have to. And then other book that ended this week again. Also only 5 issues. Future Foundation number 5.
That seems to be their new.
That's the new number, yeah.
Well, 5 is fine. You know, I guess what
but it should have been 4. Am I right? Am I
right? No, because it's the Future Foundation. So they have more than 4 members. Yeah. But no, it was good and kind of, you know, they all get trapped in Bentley's little pocket dimension. And you know,
pocket dimension, you say?
You got to have a pocket dimension. Always keep a pocket dimension handy. And then
the answer to all writers' problems: pocket dimensions.
By the way, Ricky Barnes and Lightspeed have a thing now. So sorry, whatever your
So
name
that
was.
happened.
Yeah. Hey, see, hey, look, it's a kiss that's not in the background and actually makes sense in the story.
Is that a Star Wars shout? A shout out?
Ooh.
Shots fired?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but all I know is that what the internet says. The internet was not happy.
Hey, has Luca decided to go see Star Wars yet? Philip said
Yeah, we're gonna-
Luca's
yeah.
beck and call about it.
No, I think we're going tomorrow. Well, I wasn't in a rush, and it's like it's already been out at least a week, so it's like the crowd shouldn't be too.
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, it's gonna do okay. It's gonna make its money back.
Oh, it's already over 500
Star
million.
Wars movie, of course.
Yeah, it's you know,
Correction.
I'm sure it's actually going to be a lot
Star
of
Wars movie, of course.
You know, here's what I'll say. I don't worry what Star Wars fans say about Star Wars movies.
Star Wars fans are the worst. As one, I can attest to it. We are the worst. We get into fights with Star Trek fans. We get in fights with each other. We're just the worst.
Yeah. They did the Willy meme with it. You know, like our natural enemies, like Star Wars fans and Star Trek fans, or Star Wars fans and Harry Potter fans, or Star Wars fans and Star Wars fans.
Exactly.
Star Wars fans ruined Star Wars.
It's true.
But they, you know, and we get a nice wrap up for Elijah. She's like with the gang now. So she has an existence with the Future Foundation as it exists. And, you know, we get a little shout out about the Maker, because the Maker exists in multiple dimensions, but it has the same brain, which we knew. But they're like, so if you're wondering how the Maker can be in this story and this other story right now, because he's in every story. He has multiple existences across dimensions. And they all escape using the gravity powers to control a mini black hole, along with the speed of light stuff, because she steals Alex Power's power, like Alex Power did to all of them that one time, where Alex Power stole all the powers of the Power Pack to go join the New Warriors or some nonsense. Power Pack. And then they all, much like the end of what was that? With all the different dimension people that were crossing dimensions, they had Exiles. Just like the end of Exiles, they wind up on a beach, which is like the new way you end it. You end your miniseries. You just go to the beach.
What are they? Spider-Man and Sandman?
It's Tahiti.
Gotta go to. Well, no, actually, I actually think that the Peggy Carter we're getting in Captain America now is going to be the Captain America Peggy Carter that we got at the end of Exile. Because that makes the most sense of anything. And then here we have our Ricky Barnes, who's got her little Molecule Man scars because she is the key. And yeah, so I think I love it. I think all these characters are coming back. They have a good ending. I mean, it's a solid ending. It's not as good as Gwenpool. Gwenpool was amazing. But yeah, Future Foundation ended well. You know, I liked it. It was something Shirley asked her, like, Phil, did you read any comic books this week?
Well, I mean, again, it was a short week. I mean, basically, Incoming was.
Oh, I feel your pain.
No,
I mean, okay. Incoming. First off, like, what is the cover? That bloody hand dripping down, you know.
That's
Locked room mystery, which is, first off, that sounds like such a cliche because it is.
Well, you know, escape rooms are like all the rage right now, so maybe they're trying to get the damn millennials.
We have Masked Raider, who really isn't even, like, there's nothing in this. He doesn't do anything.
It's a $10 book. Why is it a $10 book? Why is it important? Is this like an event or something?
Well, yeah,
it's
setting up what Empire and.
Well, yeah. So what it all is actually about. So there's two plot lines that are actually at its core, which is that basically you got Null doing stuff because he's a thing now. He attacks. He's going planet to planet, so that's our cosmic thing. Our magic thing is
Galactus wants to have a word with him.
We have, of course, Mephisto and. You know,
well, basically, I mean,
apparently Johnny Blaze is going to break Mephisto out of Las Vegas for some reason.
No, I think he's trying to stop the demons from breaking him out because they went into that in Ghost Rider. I mean, they go through basically the whole Marvel universe. I mean, Masquerader goes to Daredevil and Elektra, which goes to Jessica Jones. Then it goes, she needs help, so she goes to Captain Marvel. From Captain Marvel, we get to the Avengers, and then from there we get to Blue Marvel and Night Thrasher and Jimmy Woo.
Oh, by the way, I was happy to see Ares is back.
Oh, yes.
I knew he was back from the War of the Realms thing, but now he's back here, so that's good. He's hanging out in Asia for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I would say one of the best things in it is probably our interview with Joe Fixit.
Oh, yeah.
And he's mad because he's stuck in Banner's body.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes this point, that, he says, "Oh, I thought you were the teenager." He's like, what is a teenager? A teenager is a child's idea of what a grown-up is, And he talks about how, his dad was a jerk and he learned how to be an adult from watching, old TV shows, old gangster flicks. And, when he met Mr. Who his real father is Mike Berengetti, which also reminds me of when the Beyonder fell in with the mobsters. And just that low-level mobster, and it's like, yeah, I get you. You're my friend. You're my father. So that's good. And then, and the big thing we see here, although apparently what is that? Who is this? Who is this guy with Dylan? The kid here. Eddie Brock, I guess. Yeah, Eddie Brock.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Brock's got a kid now, I guess.
Yeah, Dylan sees. So he's apparently tied to Null in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the two Spider-Men working together.
Yeah, Peter and Miles, yep.
Peter and Miles. And there's apparently a new... Who was the senator that was always harassing the mutants?
Oh,
They turned him into a fish in the first movie.
Yeah. Well, who's the...
Senator... Whatever. Anyway, so they got a new one. His name is Senator Patrick something.
Yeah.
And
it's after all the teenage heroes.
Yeah, because they're not going to let teenage... See, and actually here's a story I actually really wanted to see. No mention.
Oh, Avengers of the Wasteland.
My money is that's Black Ant. O'Grady, the Black Ant.
Oh, I thought they had like a younger Ant-Man in that.
I mean, it could be. It could be someone stole the Ant-Man costume again, but I would love it if that is actually O'Grady, the Black Ant, the LMD Black Ant, because he's cool. But yeah, and then you have a nice little scene with what's Wiccan doing now that he's, I don't know, he's doing something. But and of course, Mr. Sinister needs to get that sweet Franklin Richards DNA.
Why doesn't he just combine that with Scott Summers and call it a day? It might even out the hubris and the stupidity. It might even out.
No, not Reed Richards. Franklin Richards.
I said what I said. The hubris and the stupidity. I said what I said.
And then we got Arno Stark here, Iron Man 2020.
Oh yeah, because Tony's.
He's been waiting to come out of the shadows.
Yes, because Tony's all, "Wah, I'm not a real person." Wah. So like Arno's kind of taking over.
Yeah. Okay. Now is that the original Arno Stark from the comic? Okay. And then
the true.
So how long is this event gonna go on? Is it like the whole year or?
Well, there are a couple events that are like spinning out,
So, but we do get what the Empire.
How did we get here?
What the whole thing is by the way, and obviously Groot's going to figure into it because beware the trees.
You think it's Groot, or is it like those? What are those plant people called?
The Coty.
Yes.
Well, the Coty were non-violent, so. But I guess maybe the Coty are going to come back. And was it the Kree who killed all the Coty, or was it the Skrulls?
I don't know. Maybe they're going after both of them. I don't know because.
Because the Krees and Skrulls have now united to attack Earth.
Yes, under their new.
Yes, Earthlings, the only common uniting force in the universe.
Well, nobody likes them.
The Korean Skrull have united under their new ruler Hulkling. So check out coming in 2020 Empire with a Y.
Yep, Empire.
How hip.
They
That's
do
like Southern
mention.
Geeks with a Z.
They do
Yes,
mention the
shots fired
Dracula thing. And yeah, okay. It's just and like some of the ads in the back are for actual series, but most of them are just like, oh yeah, and here's an issue coming out, and yeah.
Well, they rebooted some of them too because Guardians of the Galaxy is back at #1 again. I guess there's a new Jessica Jones coming out.
Yeah,
Who's
so there's
written the
new
Jessica Jones?
series. Oh,
Doesn't say.
Yeah.
Here, I'll look it up.
and Mask Raider is apparently getting a series,
Wow.
but they won't tell us when.
With his magic mask.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of. Yeah, I mean, I like the conceit of it, and they give you a little backstory on it. That basically he knows something's around because he feels all these things happening. Then all of a sudden he has radar vision because he has to be the match of every person he sees. And there's going to be a new X-Men Fantastic Four cross series. So that
that's fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Because I love the original X-Men vs. Fantastic Four. That was good.
Because everybody looks like a jerk when it comes to those guys.
Coming in February. Yes.
Yep. So yeah, there's good stuff out there. Oh, there's like 2 different Hulk things, or
Oh, the Jessica Jones thing. I don't know if that's a reissue of the digital series by Kelly Thompson, Lilith.
Oh, okay.
No.
So
Okay.
yeah, go support.
Anyway, yeah. I mean,
Friend to the show, Kelly Thompson. Get it right.
it's okay. I mean, like I said, I don't know if I got $10 worth of story. I certainly got a lot of setup.
You got $10 worth of cameos. Welcome to the Marvel method.
You can tell because like every story, was done basically by their regular creative team. Like the Hulk stuff was done by that creative team. Spider-Man was done by I forget which creative team, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, here's what I'll say. I don't think I'm any more excited about 2020 in the Marvel Universe than I was before.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any better roadmap of what's going to happen than I was before. It's like the big reveal is that, and Teddy's going to be, a fascist dictator now.
Yeah, the creative.
Don't forget to do the drop for breaking up the 2 episodes.
Oh, I said I could just do it, but I mean,
what?
While we're here,
way to break it. The way to break the fourth wall.
call me Deadpool or Gwenpool or Ambush Bug, whatever you prefer.
All right. Oh, you know what I was gonna say for comic books. All right, Charlie, I don't know if you're gonna go with Gwenpool or not, but what do you think is the most underrated comic series of 2019?
Underrated comic series of 2019.
What's the best thing that people should be reading that they might not be?
Oh, well. Well, I mean, I don't want to just say Gwenpool, although Gwenpool really was my favorite.
And she is that very underrated.
It was
People
underrated.
thought it was just the same, watch, rinse, repeat.
But to be told, I think it actually got a lot of readers for a Gwenpool book. I think it actually got a lot of readers. And honestly, I'm trying to think like what came out this year. I mean, I'll say, and again, it's like I think everything I liked, everyone else liked too. It's like that first half of Immortal Hulk before the whole Roxanne thing,
Yeah, that's where I dropped out at.
Yeah, we had a Loki series this
yeah with Kibble. Yeah.
Okay, there's something people should have been reading. What the heck is wrong with you people? So yeah, the best thing that the most underrated book this year was Kibble Smith's Loki, because that was brilliant and wonderful and ended way too soon.
Mm-hmm.
That was gut wrenching that it ended. It was so good. So yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that. Yeah. So there we go. Thanks for rubbing salt in that wound, Phil.
Hey, you've got to remind people of the quality. Maybe they'll go get it.
Yeah, go pick that up and say, "Where is my Kibble Smith?"
All right, Lilith Hellfire. What was the most underrated series of 2019?
I'd probably say Black Cat and Amazing Mary Jane. I know
Oh.
not a lot of people were picking that up.
Still my answer. Yeah.
Everything else is pretty much everything else that I read is pretty much like, in the popular guys consciousness or whatever. So
There's not an Archie book that people aren't.
Everybody that reads Archie, it's not underrated. Like Archie has its fandom and it's not underrated. You know what I mean? Either you like Archie or you don't. Yeah. It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
But there's so many different kinds of Archie,
There is, but still at the core of it, it's still kind of Archie.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It's that romance teenage drama, no matter what particular book it is. That's the underlying layer of the onion.
Oh, so I guess Get Vocal Rooms only record for 2 hours.
It says we're still recording.
It told me it's in 5 minutes. We only got 5 more minutes of. I mean, I'm recording on.
Yeah, we're almost done anyway. So
yeah.
Just want to wrap it up.
Oh wait, so Bill, quickly, what's underrated books?
Well, since Lil stole my answers, I mean, I keep mentioning it, but the Batman's Grave I think has been good so far. Like I said,
The Last Night wasn't bad either. Did you read that?
No, it wasn't bad. Yeah, no, I read that. Yeah. Basically, Scott Snyder's last Batman story. Yeah. Yes, that was.
Oh, there you go.
What a surprise! Batman had some good stories.
But I will say, I think my best one is the final issue of Walking Dead. That's my #1 favorite book for this year.
That was good. Yes.
And Spawn 300 really surprised me, actually, being that good with the reboot and definitely trying to be more family friendly.
Yeah. Oh, I know an underrated book, Lilith. I think we mentioned it on Spidercast. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes. Is that underrated though?
I don't know if people. Well, they just ended it at issue 14. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go.
I don't know if it had the hype of.
I think that was just Spider-Man fatigue. It happens with Batman. It happens with Superman. It's not enough love to go around sometimes, and it's a recession. It's been a recession forever, but it's fine. I won't get into it.
Fine. All right. So should we cut it there?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So everyone, lots of stuff. We threw a lot at you. Again, go check out Capes and Lunatics. Yes, this is literally super connectivity. So email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Check out Linktree for all our links, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics, and support sponsors, Pod Life the Book, Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, and check out the show notes for the Amazon link to for Southgate Media Group when you do your Amazon shopping, because help support it, because as Lilith says, bandwidth does cost. So, Lilith, where can people find you?
If you nerds want to hang out with me in 2020 on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter @Lilith Hellfire and over on Instagram @Lilith Hellfire69. Hello, Megan.
And if you'd like to...
All right, Charlie, take it and then get out of here.
Yeah, and if you'd like to write to me in an old-fashioned email way, the way I'm also possible to do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivity, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitters. I'd like to whenever I want to, whenever I want to. Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsser, with the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing.
All right. Take us out, Charlie Esser.
Okay. We have been the Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics! Wait, what?
Super connected. Makes no sense.
And thank you for super connecting with us. Please super connect with us again next week.
Make sure to download both parts. Get the whole conversation.
Yeah, you got to get it, man. I hope you found a break somewhere in there.
Oh, I'll find a break. Oh, this had to count as a super connectivity. Lilith Hellfire had to be on super connectivity 269.
You know I had to do it.
Oh! There we go. Welcome to Super Connectivity 269.
Yes.